And these countdowns suck, man. Like I never can get it quite the way I want to get it. But anyways, this is the Sports Den brought to you by um uh, run that back. Big Games BS brought to you by the Sports Den, presented by thehumidor.com. Thehumidor.com is a go-to website for all things cigar related, tobacco related, cutters, pipes, cigars, boxes, everything that you possibly need. Humidors, humidipacks, everything that you need for the cigar experience. They've got it. Also, ABC Fine Wine and Spirit, the place that you should be going to get all your liquor needs. I mean, it's the world's greatest liquor store. So fun, so friendly. Everywhere they got, they're doing stuff. They got brand new stores open. Love them. Family owned and operated. Largest purchaser of tobacco. All kinds of things that I could just go on and on speaking about. But they don't pay me that much. They pay me enough for me to tell you that you guys need to go, and that's where you need to go purchase your stuff from. Inside the world's greatest cigar shop, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. Everybody knows your name. We were up here yesterday. You never know who you'll meet when you come up here, man. Got a chance to meet Noel Legend, former Jacksonville Jaguar. I'd say great. He was on one of the best teams that they've had in quite some time. You need to use the bathroom, don't you, Kyle? Can you take us to the bathroom house? I appreciate it. Yeah. So the first part of my show is going to be about the kids and taking them to work. We got a potty trained kid. Got a potty trained kid. I'm trying to potty train and kill him, but he's up here at Goodfellas. Yes, I bring my children to cigar shops. They need to learn the family business and the family trade. But we won't take them to strip clubs until they're 14. I have some morals. We have to. They know Uncle Scott, but they won't. We ain't getting into the family business quite yet. But a lot of stuff's happened. Hurricane devastated Southwest Florida. Make sure you check on your loved ones in the state of Florida, and also learn how to read a map. That's one of the biggest things I think people haven't really done in all of this is like Florida is a really big state lengthwise. We are America's penis. So you have to make sure you look at it. Southwest Florida is a long way from the northeast part of the state. It's also far from North Florida, and you got to look at the hurricane's path. And a lot of people got devastated. I honestly have lived in Florida most of my life. I've never seen anything like what I saw. It's truly terrifying what happened to Fort Myers. I remember when I was younger, I used to be like, we'll ride out. And I do have hurricane parties. I'm not afraid of anything category 3 or lower. But if it says Cat 4, I'm getting out of Dodge. I'm going to higher country. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it nowadays, man. Especially if you have the means. Not everybody does. And not everybody can. Like people are in hospitals, people are in other stuff. But if you can, no longer do that. And in the coming days, there are going to be all kinds of drives to be able to get supplies to the state of Florida. Please put your partisanship down. There are times I'm not telling you not to take shots. Ron DeSantis is a guy who takes a lot of shots at people, but take your shots, but give. There's a lot of people who have literally lost everything, including loved ones in their own lives. And it's going to take years to come back. I mean, there are literally the devastation in Fort Myers is crazy. It's literally wiped off the map almost. And when I saw the videos and the pictures, man, because I had some people down in Naples that I've become really, really good friends with, I believe, that I really, really like. They showed me such a good time when I went down there that I needed to just make sure that they were good, man. It's again, like I said, to say that it was scary is an understatement. It was wild. But, as far as here in Jacksonville, Florida, the most devastation we got was a tree that went down in my neighbor's yard. And my neighbor, punk ass, didn't want to pick it up. So me, Miles, and Mr. Winston got the chainsaw, chopped it up. And you know what? I'm not even going to lie to you, man. It feels good doing manly shit. That's not really my cup of tea. Like, fixing things isn't what I really do. Hold on. In the beginning, if you don't ever realize, I'm always sharing this to the different things. One day I'm going to get an intern to do this again. But we chopped up the tree, moved it out the way, and you know what? Just like all things in life, when we were done, guess who shows up? The neighbor with his wife telling us thank you for doing that. No, man, no. No, y'all could have at least came and knocked on some doors. And I'm not mad at you for not having a chainsaw, but you could have at least got involved. I had to get involved. At least I even had Trey was out there watching. You could have done something. But in all of this, hurricane, I have some of the videos and stuff, Miles. I don't know if you want to just show some of them. It doesn't really matter. We kind of already went by a lot of that. But just again, the devastation, I've never seen anything like this stuff. But Floridians, if you go down to the first one, Kai, you got to stop that. The first one that has my name on it. We don't take these things too seriously. Sometimes, like some of us aren't. We're not in the true path. Or you got people who go walk out on the beach.
Oh, baby, I like it.
You got people who are taking this stuff seriously. Maybe take it too seriously. This young lady right here, in the media, I've never. So when I do First Coast News, right, I don't work for First Coast News for this reason and this reason alone. Everybody who works for a news station, when severe weather hits, everybody has to be on call. They send everybody to the news station, and then they deploy people out into the elements. One thing you'll never see James Coleman do is go out in the element. I am not Jim Cantor. I'm not going to go that. They do not pay these guys enough. So many, and it's just the weather people. So many bad things happen. You just start showing some of the clips. I think you showed the first one. So this is a technique that I had to ask my good friend Mia O'Brien about. Because I felt uncomfortable asking, right? Like, there's so many things like that go on in this world where if you ask a woman something, it can be misinterpreted, and I don't want it to be misinterpreted. But I've never seen somebody put, in a world where I guess this is where all the condoms are going, because people aren't even wearing condoms these days. And this young lady right here put just strapped up the Jimmy or the mic, as they used to say, and she says this is how you keep it waterproof. But I want to know, what did it sound like? And there's all kinds of other things that come to your mind when you see a woman holding a black microphone with a condom over it and gripping it.
Your mic has that smell now.
That good condom smell, spermicide, all that other stuff. Hold on, Kai, you got that? No, we don't play with that one. Okay, don't play with that, Bubba. Bring that to me. Oh man, daddy daycare. This is also what happens during hurricanes. Again, remember I told you guys, bring it to me. I told you guys about daycare being done. So like now I have to watch Killer because there's nobody at the house to watch him. And at Cigar Lounge, we have cutters. And the little kids get in the cutters. But one of the things that's the problem with this too, especially black women, this is why you need to go get your natural hair. Black women gonna be fly and fresh no matter what. And sometimes that doesn't go very well for you. And during a hurricane with strong winds, you got to strap the weave down. You got to strap the wig down, baby. And then just right here, strong wind, boom, right there. So now we all know. Just wear your hair, baby. In the face, she's so dejected. You've been telling people that's yours, that you're part Indian, and we've been knowing you're lying. But now, it's okay. Now we all know, baby. Just okay. Just fun stuff that happens during a hurricane. Feel bad for her. I mean, those wind gusts are strong, man. But so it's combo here with the daddy daycare shit here. But one of the things that happened, and I talked about it on the last show, was my son. My son told us something that was very funny. And he told his teacher that he could not go to school because his mom was on parole. Just funny thing. Kids say the darndest things and stuff. So my sister tweets this. And what happens is, because it's funny and it's true, it really did happen exactly that way. It gets picked up by one of these black sites, the Shade Room being one of them, that basically just make a living off of other people's misery. And even though this wasn't miserable, it was just still funny, to say the least, that so many adults don't have anything else to do with their lives that they have to come and they have to laugh at us. But my sister posted it, and as I put, this is why I don't trust light-skinned women, because my sister posted my family's business. And, so she put that on there. And then if you scroll down, Miles, I think it shows then at that point, it was doing numbers. It had enough. But since yesterday, I believe it had like damn near 60,000 views on IG. My sister's Twitter went viral and a whole bunch of other stuff. She should have posted her SoundCloud rap album. But here's where I believe sometimes people give this generation not enough credit. And if you go to the next one, Miles, you're going to see the wisdom of a 9-year-old, because and also the nature versus nurture stuff. This is true nature right here. Because if anybody knows me, I tell my sister this all the time. She gets excited about being pseudo famous. We don't, but the Jameses of the world don't care about being internet famous. We care about one thing and one thing only. So if you listen to what, now excuse my table, that's our work
said about mom being on.
So let the world. This is what Trey wanted to say about you, nosy ass adults.
Hold on, Trey. How does it feel to be famous? Tia put you on the internet and made you on what you said about mom being on parole. So what do you think? What are your thoughts? Hold on one second, Kai.
Did you make any money for it?
I don't think she made any money from it.
So you see the kid?
Hold on.
The kid is just like, yo, what's the point if we're not making no bread? And I think he's true. It's true in all of this. What is the point of doing all this if you don't make no money? But before I get into all these, actually that last one we'll come back to that, more of a head cloud. But the hurricane scares North Carolinians or people who are from smart schools, but it ain't gonna shave you from this ass whooping. So FSU versus Wake. Dave Clawson had a lot of things to say in the media. He said that FSU's environment, he doesn't know if anybody's gonna show up, might have the same number of fans as Wake Forest. Like just very disrespectful to, like, we didn't have a sold out stadium last week. And there's a lot, they did shut the school down. They sent the kids home. But what the university administration said, basically, and I'm gonna shout out my guy Jay Dash, they basically came out this thing and said, yo, if you don't believe it, watch this. We're gonna make sure that thing packed now. So the statement comes from basically you can keep that up there, Miles. Our thoughts and prayers at this time with those impacted by Hurricane Ian. We have conducted another operational briefing today, basically stating that we're coming here. We are making tickets available to Saturday's football game to Floridians displaced by Hurricane Ian. Floridians can claim up to 4 tickets, courtesy of Florida State Athletics, by showing their state of Florida ID at Dick Hauser Ticket Office, the baseball stadium, on Saturday beginning at 11:30 a.m. So basically what he's saying is on Saturday, come up to the box office, show us your ID. We're gonna pack dope one way or the other. And bitch, it's gonna be loud, it's gonna be proud, and we're gonna fuck up some demon deacons. Now, before we get into the breakdown of the game, we talked about this guy that none of us knew about before, I believe Monday or whatever, and some of you guys have. His name is Brandon Walker, college football. He calls himself the brightest mind in college football. But this is the guy who got mad at Peach for basically calling him out and say back in August for saying that the Miami Hurricanes were going to be really, really good. Now, he gets mad because he's been feeling the wrath of what Seminole Twitter is. And what we do is we don't forget. We're like Pepperidge Farms. We always remember. But if you can play this on, because I want to hear the whole thing, because there's a lot of stuff to break down in this video here.
Good, glad to hear.
Oh, it's black.
Zach in Tampa, what's up?
Hey, Brandon, how are you, man?
So good. What's up?
Good, glad to hear it. Yeah, just wanted to add some points. I know you discussed Clemson's win over Wake Forest and how it was a big show for them, and I honestly kind of agree with you. You know, DJ coming out and showing that he can actually move the ball with that offense, 4 points.
Drink your coffee like a man.
Not to mention, you mentioned the defense. People were kind of shitting on him. but they do, they're missing some of their starting
It's
defensive
making me
backs. So I think that
self-conscious
makes
about
a
how I
huge
drink my
difference.
coffee right now.
Wanted to just ask you one question. Kind of as the season has gone on, there's been growing pressure for you to admit your foolishness towards your decision on shitting on Mike Norvell. Want to know if you're going to bend the knee soon and admit he's a great coach. Thanks.
Can you just stay right there real quick?
Yep.
You a Florida State fan?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I can hear the mouth breathing in your voice. Here's the thing, you fucking Florida State idiots. Nobody hated Mike Norvell 4 weeks ago more than you Walmart jean wearing motherfuckers, okay? You guys were the ones that hated Mike Norvell, that wanted Mike Norvell out. Now he's 4-0, and he's had a decent start, and you're calling me and saying you're going to bend the knee to Mike Norvell? Because you're the one that was on a message board a month ago saying he should be fired.
Do you hear his voice breaking?
Were you on a message board a month ago saying he should be fired? Yes or no?
Generalization. Do not make generalizations. It's not fair.
Shut up, ugly.
So pause. Let's just break this down because this is what I'm about to do. We're about to roast Brandon Walker. So y'all can tell Brandon Walker in Barstool Sports that Big Game James said, fuck you. First off, any man who drinks his coffee like, you're weird, bro. But then I had to go look into it. I had to investigate Brandon Walker. Who is Brandon Walker and why should we care? And I went on Twitter and I looked at it, I said, just like I thought, here is another overweight, average, pasty. I didn't even call you a pilgrim because pilgrims are cool. Pilgrim stands for is cap, cold ass pilgrim, cool white person. You're not cool. You went to Mississippi. You're a Mississippi State reject. So first and foremost, we don't wear jean shorts. That is an SEC stereotype. We are cool. We are one of the few schools that invented swagger. That's why people want to go to Florida State, not go fuck my sister, Mississippi State. And the fact that you're so emotional lets us know that deep down inside, you know you're wrong and just admit it. Brandon Walker is a sports gambling analyst, one of millions for Barstool Sports. He's known for his ridiculous knowledge of college football, which was on display when he said that the University of Miami was going to be really, really good and win the ACC. That's ridiculous in of itself. We don't know how old he is. Just show that right there. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous knowledge of not. Sometimes, hey, man, this is what you know. When you got a small hole, it's hard to find.
Just look at the cup, man. Use your eyes.
Bruh, it's all them lights on in that Barstool studio, and you can't find a hole. That's how you know that guys who get that they have a hard time finding a hole. That's the reality, man. The reality is when you have a hard time finding a hole, you spaz out on things that just you should not spaz out on. But let's just go down into this guy because I don't like people who kind of come at my peoples. He wrote 2004. He wrote for something called the Daily Times Leader in West Point, Mississippi. You would know about jean shorts, jorts, and all this other BS. You covered high school sports and junior high softball, but yet you have a ridiculous knowledge of college football. You ain't played a down. You haven't done anything, and you don't deserve the right to call anybody ugly when you look like this. Trying to drink coffee, bro. Like, listen, man, be a man. Pick it up, put it to your lips, and sip. And I'm sorry you guys have to see me drinking this stepped-on coffee. Starbucks is closed right now because of the hurricane. I'm already a little upset. My guy TJ Pittenger just put a comment up there. I can't see that with my bad eyes right now, so put that up there so I can read it. James, thanks for what you did for the kids and always do for folks that don't. Also, this guy is such a clown, and I never get tired of watching the video with Pete. I mean, it's just really just why. Like, why did you have to do that, man? Like, he went off on Peach, like Peach, like, was just so, how dare he have an opinion? Like, I mean, he thought SEC country was his big break, but then Cox Media cut it down, which is smart. In 2018, he left. Basically, he started working with MyBookie, and then MyBookie joined Barstool. You lucked into the position that you are in, and I hate people who are like that. I hate people who lucked into their position and then act as if they actually earned it and they worked it. Just enjoy your spot. I love a good roast as anybody else. But damn, dude, just relax, man. You were wrong. You want to know? It's nothing wrong with. But here's the reality. I've had my opinions and critiques on Mike Norvell too. I never said Mike Norvell should be fired because I never believe a coach should be fired before 3 seasons. People have constantly asked me, is Mike Norvell it? I say, I don't know if he's it. I know he is our coach right now. And that's all that matters to me. But right now, to act like you were just always right, man, eat a dick. Jesus Christ. I know you're not probably supposed to say those two things back to back, but you're also not supposed to drink your coffee like that. Carter Carrolls, I don't know if I said his name right, but he's a pretty good analyst guy. Always puts these things up, covers Florida State. Florida State has an explosive offense and a defense that limits explosive plays. They're number 1 in plays of 20-plus yards or more, 32 plays that they've had this season. Only allowed 2 plays of 30-plus yards, which is really, really good. Number 8 in yards completion, Kai Coleman. Stop that. I think he has his headsets on. Number 8 in yards / completions allowed. Number 18 in yards / attempts allowed. Number of opposing players has had 61 receiving yards. Basically, they have had nobody over those numbers. That is very good, in particular for a coordinator that everybody wanted fired, or just as of Louisville. FSU's defense has been playing really, really good and doing numbers. And when we look at what Wake Forest is going to attempt to do, what they did against Clemson was they made big plays. Now, before I get this is the last link, Miles, we're gonna play because I want people to understand what the end goal is and give my guy Andy Urbanek props. I don't even know if Andy Urbanek's alive still. I love Andy Urbanek. I hope he is though. But here's what Wake Forest does well. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about what Florida State does well. Then we're going to do a little bit of comparison and contrasting if my Wi-Fi can actually pull up my stats.
We're going.
This is weird. Okay, here we go. Wake Forest is averaging 42, basically 43 points a game, giving up 30 points a game to opponents. Now, Wake Forest has only played one team with a pulse. And Liberty. Liberty is actually a really good G5 school. They're just not that much. They're not Florida State, I don't believe. They've had they've gotten 89 total first downs. They've given up 71. They are averaging 123 yards rushing. They giving up 139 yards rushing. Now I want us to make sure we pay attention to that. They're averaging 314 yards passing. They're giving up 236 yards passing. The 437 yards of total offense, 376 yards of total offense. That's not giving up 376 yards of total offense. That's not necessarily good. They've only thrown 4 interceptions. They've gotten 2 interceptions, which neither good nor bad. Don't really care so much about that. Here's the crazy thing. They've given up 11 sacks and they've gotten 10. So 11 sacks is not very, very good. So those are the things that are interesting, but I want to pay attention to the yards rushing, and we want to compare that to what Florida State's been able to do. Which again, in this year, Florida State has been doing way better than what they've done in years past. Florida State is averaging 503 yards a game, giving up 310. 2 of those games were to LSU, who's 3-1, and Louisville, who's 2-2. 2 of the most dynamic offenses. Now, Duquesne should not count. And then Boston College literally ran into the football version of Hurricane Ian last week. We had 20 touchdowns, giving up 10. We're averaging. I'm looking at this wrong. Here we go. We're averaging 226 yards rushing a game. They're giving up 100. So our strength is where they're weak at. Where's the passing? We're averaging, I guess it's only 277 yards passing. We're averaging that. We're only giving up 165. So we're strong in pass defense. Our weakest part so far has been the rush. They don't do that very well. They also don't have a mobile quarterback. Now, here is something that's also really, really interesting what I saw. And that's the interceptions. We've given up 3. They've taken 3. our sack totals is what I was looking for. I had it here, man. Thought I had it. Oh yeah, our sacks. We've only given up 5 sacks on the year, which is crazy when you think about the last few years at Florida State. And we played LSU, who's has a really good D line. Yet we've only gotten 10 on this year, but again, we've gotten 10 playing 2 extremely agile and active and fast quarterbacks. So we actually didn't have as many sacks as we wanted to. We also missed Jared Verse last week. Hopefully we get him back. If we don't, I think guys like Derek McClendon need to have a big game. Derek McClendon is going to be key to making sure everything on that defense clicks because they've got to be able to get pressure on the Sam Hartman, who isn't necessarily the most agile quarterback, but he's a decent enough quarterback to be able to extend the pocket. And I like that. And he actually doesn't mind throwing the ball. They've also got 2 6'5" wide receivers that he doesn't mind flinging the ball to. But what stands out for us is that we've only had 2 plays of 30-plus yards or more given up. So that kind of bodes in your favor. So you got that. You've got Kalen DeLoach needs to continue to play at a high level. And what he's able to do covering sideline to sideline is amazing. Now, the biggest thing is I think number 4 on the offense, Michael Pittman, is going to be the guy that's going to have a big game this week. He's been doing a lot of the dirty work. You got our stuff up. Click on receiving, Miles, the receptions part, so that we can – oh, no, go down. You're right. Like right there on that column where it says receiving, just click on REC. Yeah, I was right. Michael Pittman is second on the team in receptions. He is catching the ball. He's doing a lot of dirty work, but he hasn't had the Johnny Wilson game. He hasn't had the Pookie Wilson game, but he's getting close. So I think he's the guy that's going to be able to move the chains and do some big things this week. At least that's what I'm hoping for. We haven't had a different leading receiver every week this season. It's been great the way Jordan Travis moves the ball around. We'll see how it continues to go. But the biggest thing is what I want to see is, and this is where Andy Urbanic comes into play. Andy Urbanic, this is life advice. I got this advice 20 years ago when we were heading. We had a losing streak, I believe, and we were going up there. 9/11 had just happened. I think one of my teammates yelled bomb on the plane, and Andy Urbanic gave me this life advice. Gave us the team this life advice, and I want to give this to you as the fans, and I want y'all to take heed to this.
Hey, listen, man, I need you to focus on Wake Forest because we're going up there with the sole purpose to beat the hell out of some asses. It just was the greatest quote. It was the most inspirational thing I had ever heard. He was like, I never heard beat the hell out of asses. Like,
I've heard beat the hell out of somebody, beat the fuck out of people, but we are going out there for the sole purpose to beat the hell out of some asses. Guys, that's what this is about. At the end of the day, let's troll, let's do all this stuff, but them boys got to be focused. Them boys are the ones going on that field. Them boys are the ones who got to beat the hell out of some asses. UF plays a football game this weekend. They're playing Eastern Washington. I'm not even going to lie to you. Don't know what the fuck, where the fuck Eastern Washington is. Don't know why the fuck I care about Eastern Washington. But Eastern Washington is obviously a school. It's not that, it's an FCS school. Not overly that great, but you know, they Graham Hall talks about they're making different shifts. They had some guys, one guy like DeJuan Black, who many Florida State fans know, trolled the hell out of us a lot, and just trolled the hell out of us and did some different and did not play, barely made it to school, got into school. Trey Dean is listed as out. I know that's my guy Harrison is very happy about that. He is a Trey Dean hater for whatever reason. I know why, but he has that. But here's Eastern Washington, their FCS program. Florida should beat them handily. Florida 67-17-4 against FCS opponents. The last time they lost one was when Georgia Southern beat them without completing a forward pass. They have a quarterback, Gunnar Talkington. Gunnar is 57-93, 636 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's considered a dual threat quarterback. I doubt the way the defensive end and the D tackle at Florida play. It's they should have no trouble with this. Micah Smith 24 carries, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns on the season. He's the best running back they have. That's just not enough. But then again, Florida has done a really had a difficult job stopping the run. Wide receiver Freddie Robinson, 11 catches, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns. I doubt very seriously he's able to do anything. Defensively, they've got Eli Doyle as safety, and they've got Mitchell Johnson, who's got 2 sacks on the season. Here's the crazy part. If they do anything, if this is not a Duquesne level ass whipping, Florida fans, y'all should go in hiding. Because y'all talk so much shit when we play Duquesne, and yeah, y'all haven't played anybody. Yeah, that's just an FCS opponent. This should be an easy, but y'all struggling against South Florida, competent Power 5 team. You struggled against, you should have lost to Utah. You struggled at every game you've played, but I don't believe you lose this game. So I mean, Kentucky, Tennessee, good programs, SEC programs. You battled them. The coaches know you. I get it. This should be a good stat game, good fill me up game, good make you feel good about life game. Miami is playing the bye week this week, and hopefully they'll win. But they're going into the bye week with a 2-game loser streak, and on next week they play the University of North Carolina with May, who is probably the best quarterback right now in the ACC, and it's going to be fun to see if y'all going to get y'all ass whooped for that game right there, because y'all better get it together, or Manny, not Manny Diaz, what's his name? Manny Cristobal is going to be on a hot seat day one. So here's what we got with Hater Clock. Hater Clock, man, football is a violent sport. Very violent, extremely violent sport. If you watch Thursday Night Football, which has been really, really good. Hold on. Kai, come here. Come here. Put your headsets on, sit down, and listen. Stop talking, okay? Give me about 10 minutes, all right? Sorry about that. No edits out of that, so you're going to hear that on the SoundCloud and on the YouTube. But Thursday Night Football was wild. It's been great. Good camera angles. Actually, Kirk Herbstreit, outside of lying about some things, has actually been a pretty good NFL analyst. But Tua Tagovailoa is somebody who I've been picking on quite some time, Pineapple Boy. But he's been playing very, very well. And I actually watched this game to pay attention because I'm in a conundrum. My fantasy football team has 2 quarterbacks who are lame. I have Russell Wilson and I have Tua Tagovailoa. Russell Wilson has been playing like he's actually being affected by futures music. And Tua's been lighting it up outside of last week. Now, if we can show the video of what happened last week. Last week, the NFL tried to do to us what the U.S. government does to us about alien sightings or other things, UFO sightings. They try to tell us that this didn't happen. Now, I'm getting old. My back hurts now. I don't want to move when my back hurts, let alone get a jog, let alone do anything athletic. But this is what happened last week with Tua. And so for those who are watching on YouTube, you'll see it. He got rocked. And he got up. He's a little wobbly. And he tries to jog it off. And then he just hits the stanky leg. And it just almost falls down. But see, they're saying that they said they took him into the tent, evaluate. He's grabbing his face. He hasn't grabbed his midsection or his lower half yet. When your back hurts, the first thing you do is you lay on the ground, you grab your back, you let the world know. Yeah. But right now, this is clearly signs of a concussion. You don't have to spend $250,000 to go to med school to know that, especially if you've been rocked before. See, the problem is a lot of people are going. I saw one drunk on Twitter say, Twitter went from meteorologist to neuroscientist in a day. You can tell he's never been hit. He's never played a physical sport before. Like, I've seen this happen before. This man is drunk. He is gone. Like, he should have never come back into this football game. He came back in and he did just enough to survive. And this is a shame because at a certain point, the competitor in you is not going to want to not come in. They have to save you from yourself. Tua's helmet should have been taken. And he should have never been allowed to get back into that game. But this is what happened last week. And then they tried to tell us it was just a back injury. And everybody who's played the game knows that that's bullshit. So now, one of the craziest things about concussions is that first injury was on Sunday. So this is Thursday night. So he's basically rushing back into play 4 days later. Now, when you have a concussion, if you don't have adequate rest, your odds of getting another one increase and it'll make it worse. So we're watching this full-time live, and it's the crazy, scary thing. Helmet hits the B, hits the ground, and immediately he has a neural. I didn't know what this was. I actually thought he broke his finger. But a lot of people came in and explained that that's a neurological response to trauma, to head trauma, is that basically your body just spasms up. He basically at that point has zero control over what's going on with his body. And some of the reports, like Josh McDaniels, he's stating that when he went to go see Tua recognized him, but he's like, but he didn't recognize him. That wasn't the same guy. Like, at a certain point, man, you gotta save him, man. There was no need for him to play this game. No need for him to play this game. And you could just tell that he wasn't on point. Like, some of it looked like the way he's played before, but like you could tell that Tua just was not into the game. This is why people are afraid to let their kids play. But this is also where, as a parent, if my son gets his shit rocked, we're not going to play next week. Like we're going to go get second and third evaluations. My position, I gave out concussions. And as I always love the joke, I've never had a concussion that I can remember. That being said, I didn't have to dictate the entire offense. I ran into another object. So as long as I ran forward, I had a good chance of making sure that my job was done perfectly. What Tua does is he has to throw the ball to other people, and now you're putting others in a position to where you can give them CTE like you're getting. That's where it's dangerous, and that's where you have to be like, all right, man, I want to win, but I want to win long term. And I have to do what's best for the young man and the team. And everybody with a brain understood what this was. Even Emmanuel Achu, or whatever his name is, who's always, when he makes good points, but sometimes I don't know what's wrong with him. But truth be told, Tua should probably never have been playing. He displayed neurological trauma last week. We disregarded it, labeled it as a back injury, and let him back in the game. Now the whole world watch as he lay on the field, helpless. When will we put player safety first? Now, the NFL already had these guys under investigation, the NFLPA already, because nobody believed that bullshit. But I think there needs to be more accountability. We have to take this a step further. Honest to God's truth, there is more accountability on the high school football level than there is on the NFL level. And what do I mean by that? Before I coach this season, every season, any sport, I have to take a concussion protocol test. I have to. It's mandatory. So we take this. We know all the rules. We know all the steps. The athletic trainer has more power and more authority over the head football coach in any injury situation than even the parent. If the trainer doesn't say that, he can go in. He's gone in. It's damn near 2 weeks you're going to lose somebody. 2 weeks. And as a coach, your job at a certain point, even on the professional level, is to care about the safety of your team. You know that, okay, let's say it was a back injury. This man literally collapsed while walking and people had to come and hold him up. You should have known to, you know what, this guy in 4 days, actually 3, you have a mandatory Tuesday that you have to have off. So you had a Monday, and Monday, nobody plays after Monday. So you had a Wednesday walkthrough. You thought that you saw enough in Tua to have 1 full day of practice and let him come back out there, you should have skipped this Thursday and he should have tried to play next week. That would have been what was best for him. I hope that just like it's not Teddy Bridgewater, I forgot who it is. Just like there's a lawsuit with the Los Angeles Chargers for hurting a player, I hope that they launch an investigation and I hope they sue the fuck out of you. Not just the doctor. The Dolphins organization, the NFL needs to come in and really slap the fuck out of these guys. Because that's the only way. The only way you can make change is to tap somebody's pockets. When we start tapping pocketbooks, we know things are going to go the right way. And this is coming from a guy that just really, honestly, I don't even necessarily think Tua is it. But I don't want to see that in anybody. And then the coverage. I've never understood this. Now, his people were there, but who knows? People who care about you are watching this game. We saw the hit. We saw the replay. We see him laying down. Man, pan it off and go talk about something else for a second. Stop talking about the injury. Like, let's focus on, like, I remember when Leon Washington, when I played in college, we were in North Carolina. He dislocated his elbow. And they kept showing it over and over and over and over again. And my mom was so disgusted because she knew Leon. Leon came to the house for Thanksgiving my freshman year because nobody could go home. And so she really liked him, thought he was a respectful young man, all those stuff. And she was like, I'm disgusted. I know what his mom has to be. His mom is sitting there watching this happen over and over again. Like, why would we do this? Like, why would they just not show it? Go to a commercial break. Like, these people pay you all this money. Commercial break is there. Now, I'm not 1,000% sure how Amazon Prime works, but you know, I have it. I don't even remember if commercials were shown, but we could have done something. We could have broke down next week's games. A lot of other shit should have been going down, man. It's just overall, it's sad, man. Hold on. Sorry about that. Somebody just sent me a text message. Shit, man. It's just, again, it hurts my heart to see this. And now, Chris Nowinski, PhD, I take no pleasure in being right. Basically, he said, if Tua takes the field tonight before the game, it's a massive step back for concussion care in the NFL. If he has a second concussion that destroys his season or career, everyone involved will be sued and should lose their jobs, coaches included. We all saw it. Even they must know that this isn't right. Then he says, I take no pleasure in being right. Pray for Tua. We saw this coming. Get angry. Get involved with Concussion LF to make sure the NFL can't do this again. I don't really think that this was on. I don't think this is on the NFL. I think it's on the NFL if it's allowed to go unpunished. If these guys just go and just can do whatever they want to do, then that's it. There are inherent risks that we all sign up for to play this violent game. But that one right there, you willingly let somebody go in. You put somebody in that ring and you knew it wasn't safe. It's just, I don't know, man. That's terrible. That should never happen on any level. That should never happen on any level, man. But that being said, I am a proponent of it's cheaper to keep her. There's a lot of bad stuff that happens in this world. But I think women, in all this liberation that you're getting, you should go into a thing for it's a maybe it's you. It's cheaper to keep them. And this is brought to you by Green Acre Sporting Goods. Green Acre Sporting Goods is go to outdoor website, shop anything that you want. 20,000 square feet of just straight manhood, masculinity. You gotta go check it out. You gotta go see them, get your guns, get your bows and arrows, whatever you need. We got deer hunting season coming up. It's getting a little cooler. That's the best time to go get them. You gotta love it up, man. These guys will make sure that you don't have anything that you don't need. No wasted ammo, no wasted money. They're the best. Love those guys. They're really, really good. I want you to click on the CNN part first, and then we'll go to what came in my mind. So everybody knows Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, richest man in the world. Jeff Bezos was so rich that he decided to get a divorce and create the richest woman in the world. Mackenzie Scott, billionaire philanthropist. She went and every woman was like, "That's right, girl. Go on, do your thing, baby. Leave that dude. You was there when he was shooting in the gym, and then he left you." Well, she went and married a teacher. You know what she is? Divorced. And here's what bothers me, man. Simping ain't pimping. I got a good friend who is a I don't want to say he's a simp. He's an emotional guy. He believes he's a really good guy, but he doesn't win in life. Because that's why I always say be goodish. He commented on something that was just like, hey, 2 years is long enough. I think he was thinking I was arguing about her divorcing Jeff Bezos. I don't care about her divorcing Jeff Bezos. I'm saying, baby, maybe it's you because you just married a guy. You've been married for 2 years and now you divorced him. No, here's what I got to say for you, Mackenzie. You're never going to find another Jeff Bezos until you start working in that world. And if you do start operating in that world, guess what? It's going to be, you're going to have to take things that you don't like. I think our world has lied to people and made them believe that you're going to find your perfect mate. Right. Nobody's perfect. Everybody comes with a certain amount of bullshit that you have to like accept. And the older you get, the more bullshit you're going to have to accept. Yep, turd to talent. But like, you got to look at the fact that you might be a turd too. So I tell my female friends and my male friends over the age of 30, get rid of the idea of finding a woman that doesn't or a man that doesn't have kids. They're probably going to have kids. They're going to have a divorce. They're going to have some baggage. That's okay. Now, with that comes bullshit. I'm just saying. Now, it's like this. Until dog, that's why I was coming. Until dog, bro, you watched this enough to know where we're going with this. Now, every woman believes that they have, that the women, and this is where Kevin Samuels was right. Andrew Tate was right. Women judge men and what we want in relationships based upon your expectations, your level of education, your degree, your money, your income level, your this. Men don't care about those things because men are hunters. Like, if you make a lot of money, great. All most men really care about is, can you take care of yourself so that you're not a burden to me? And if I want to give you some stuff, that's great. But like, if I don't give you anything, is that the only way that you survive? Now, also, I blame rap music for this. Yeah. Every woman thinks that they got fired pussy. I'm sorry. Statistically impossible. It may be fired to somebody. Look, more than likely, most men just don't want to make you mad. So they're not going to tell you you're not any good. They're just going to leave you or go find you for somebody that's better. Now, here's what probably more than likely happened in all these things. The great philosopher, Young Thug, free YSL. I think that's what they are, right? Anyways, whatever the group is. But more than likely, this is, if a woman asks me, hey, I've been cheated on by every man that I've ever been with. And Big Game, what do you think is going on? This is what I'm going to straight up tell them. It's just the truth, man. I'm just, that's, to be honest with you, with Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, at a certain point, it's got to be something wrong with the pussy, man. Like, you got to go look at yourself. No amount of money is going to fix that. And again, I think we talked about it on the show. I don't necessarily think she's pretty, but she's older, so I don't really know. Whatever. Somebody like it. She got $1 billion. But she initiated a divorce. So it could be something wrong with his penis. He ain't stroking it right. But at the end of the day, If you keep getting divorced, man, like why? It's something wrong with you. But hopefully that man didn't sign a prenup and got what he needed to get out of her because he was with her before she was a billionaire. So he is entitled to half of what she got, or some level of compensation for his time. And he's never going to be able to find another woman that's like Mackenzie as far as fiscally responsible. But poor women get catered to every day. I was explaining to a female friend who's awesome girl, misguided in some things, but awesome. But a lot of us were trained wrong and raised wrong and don't know it yet. What I was telling her is she makes $150,000, but she dates losers. And I told her it's her fault that she dates losers because at $150,000, you can date whatever you want. I told her she has build a dude money. Like, go find a good dude and build him up. Now, you got to be afraid that he's going to leave you, but you can go find a loyal guy like a teacher or somebody that's not, but she's chasing, dope boys, entertainers, all these other guys that have really nothing going for them. And they're not even real entertainers. They're like lower level entertainers, like guys who could blow up, like lower level coaches, like support staff coaches, like that aren't making close to what she makes. And what I was explaining to her is that really what it comes down to is a level of manipulation. You make $150,000. When you look straight ahead or up, those men don't care about your $150,000 that you make because they make that or more. They care about things that you feel entitled that you don't have to provide because you make this money. You don't have to do these things. So they go and find whatever they want because they don't care about how much money you make. Most women care about the amount of money that a man makes. So it limits who they are. So you're trying to fish in a pool that's, because you make 150, I think you're in the top 10% of earners in America. So you're trying to go for 10% of the population, and that 10% of the population can go for the 90% of the top population. And so they'll go find in that 90%. So again, your net is wider. You'll find what you like in that net because men don't necessarily care about your income status. That's why Jeff Bezos is smiling around happy. I saw somebody talk about Shaq is happy because Shaq is a little upset because he made some bad decisions as a youth. And with Shawnee O'Neal, but Shawnee made some bad decisions too. They're not married. Shawnee, and he's like she was saying Shaq is lonely. I got news for you. Shaq has a house full of people. Everybody's still at Shaq house. And when Shaq wants to truly go and settle down and find another woman, Shaq will be able to go settle down and find another woman. But Shaq's problem is that Shaq's at a point where now he just wants some companionship, some true companionship. Everybody knows him as Shaq. So he's not walking around a 30,000-foot mansion crying big Shaq tears. Because tomorrow he can go find somebody. And again, that's this narrative that everybody has put out about love and marriage. No matter how you spin it, even in the Bible, even in today's world, marriage or relationships in general are fiscal, generational building constructs. If it's not building to have something stabilized for children or other things or to secure your family, it's not worth anything. And if anything that's worth something is going to either have people try to steal it, try to destroy it, or it's worth fighting for. Again, I want to rephrase. I want to put that up there again. Somebody's going to, if it's valuable, this is how you know if your mate is looking good. If nobody's trying to holler at your chick, I'm just gonna tell you, your chick ain't pretty. It doesn't mean she entertains it. She might not even be aware that people are trying to holler at her. That's the ones you want. The ones that are oblivious to it, right? Because that means they're busy and they're Zoom focused. But somebody's gonna, if your mate is valuable, somebody's gonna try to steal it from you. And if you're being successful, somebody's going to try to destroy it just because people are haters. And if it's valuable, you're going to try to keep with it and you're going to try to stick with it. You can take that philosophy to everything in your life. Right now, my Florida State Seminoles are valuable right now. People are going to try to come in. Wake Forest is going to try to come in and steal our joy. They want to lose. They want us to lose. Trolls are going to try to destroy us at every given corner. And what we're going to do is we're going to go on that football field and we're going to fight for it. So, anyways, I still got a couple tickets, guys. If you need tickets to this game, or if you know people who need tickets, please let me know. We will make sure that they get in dope. We got about over 150. Hopefully, we'll have 200 when it's all said and done that are going through the MFTK Foundation. We're still raising money for Georgia Tech. It's $30 for a ticket. Shout out to Telvin Smith. Telvin Smith dropped $3,000. Pay for this group of tickets, and so the money that was already raised, we're going to go ahead and push some of that toward Georgia Tech. I think we got about 25 tickets for Georgia Tech already raised, so we need a little bit more capital. Nothing wrong with that. $2,000 more. Let's get those kids in the dope. Let's fill these seats. Let's make sure that these guys are all. And if you don't know if you're going to any of these games, please feel free. Hit me up. I will definitely take them off your hands and make sure that somebody deserving has those seats and has those tickets. The next tailgate will be Clemson, so that's in 2 weeks. October 15th, we'll be having it. I appreciate everybody who hooked me up, taking Trey and his friend Logan to their first Seminole game this year. Checking my emails, make sure everything's good. Anybody, again, if you need tickets, make sure you hit up at Big Game James _36. Please go follow me at SportsDen _live. Please follow it. Please comment after this. Like, share this on the YouTubes, all the different worlds, man. Appreciate you guys. I hope you're all safe from Ian. Check on somebody who was a part of Ian. Please help with the hurricane support relief. We probably will end up doing something for it. Other than that, man, appreciate you guys for chopping up with me. Have a great weekend.